everything you can. Don't you worry what their bitter hearts are gonna say. It just takes some time. You're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine, you know. Oh, it just takes some time, little girl in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, alright. It just takes some time. You're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, seek good, not evil. Follow the Lord and live. God will be with you, just as you say He is. Clean up your courtrooms and all your prisons too. Come join the mourners, and God will weep with you. Let justice roll like a river. Roll like a river, come and deliver. Roll like a river, roll like a river, roll like a river, come and deliver. Roll like a river. He rested with us to liberate the poor. Nothing can stop us. Our hope is from the Lord. Let justice roll like a river. Roll like a river, come and deliver. Roll like a river, roll like a river, roll like a river, come and deliver.
Hey, I am made of planets, oceans and stardust, and it's not that far from us. My skin's geology, it got its scars from us. Pain rivers eroded, deep chasms and depressions. Made of cliff divers and the rocks that they stand on. The abuse of man and beast made resources increase. Came from the least, we make treasures out of trash. Understand the land in a way that came from pain. Your loss is my gain, and in the end it's not equal. I appeal to the resilience of my people. Ooh, remain calm and watch nations rage. I've seen the oceans part by the ancient of days, and it rolls.
David Phillips says he hears music in his ears. Okay. Cool. Just give me the thumbs up when it's ready. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. How are you? I hope there's some of you on here now. If it's anything like church, then, it's usually through song 4 that people show up. But welcome so much to our concert tonight. We are in Baltimore, Maryland, and we get to be at this magnificent facility, the Foundry Church in Baltimore. It is gorgeous in here, and you guys probably don't even see it, but it's gorgeous. It's huge. It's built for singers. It's just fantastic, and I'm really glad that you decided to hang out with us. We're going to do a handful of songs. We're going to hang out for a little bit. I'm going to encourage you and empower you tonight to just keep going and get ready to go into the next season of your life. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to hang out for a little bit, and then we'll be done. Is that cool? I'm so glad that you joined us tonight. Thank you. We're going to start off with this song. It's called Will You Dance? And it's really just about freedom. It's about looking to what's next, being ready, being open-handed with your life and who you are. So here it is. It's called Will You Dance? Enjoy. Welcome. Wherever you are tonight, if you're sitting on your couch, just enjoy the moment of being alive tonight. Will you dance? Will you sing? Will you love him? Will you see his face? And will you run into his arms? Will you throw off all that hinders you and trust his heart? Oh, can you listen? Can you let go? Will you dance? Could you dance in this life? He is there. He's aching. He's heartbreaking. He is calling your name. Yeah. What will it take to open your heart, open your eyes? He will teach you to dance. For this yoke is easy and his burden is light. Will you dance? I wish I could see you, that you were here. But that song's called Will You Dance? Let me introduce my friends to you, to those of you that are watching. This is David Phillips on the bass right here. This is Stephen Waddy behind me on the keyboards. Can you see him? We were saying that I think my afro might block his head, and so it looks like my hair will just have like these big arms coming out of it. And then this is David Lerner on the drums. No, we are not brother and sister. I know you're confused, and you're like, they have the same last name. They have to be brother and sister. Maybe she's adopted, or he's adopted. No, we're married. That was my husband of over 20 years. So, and I'm Nikki Lerner. Again, if we haven't met, hi. Glad to be together. So, a while ago, I started running. I don't know why. Now that I say it, it sounds like the most awful thing ever to start running, at least for me in my life. So I start running, and at some point, I start getting up into about, I don't know, maybe like, I think I reached like 6 miles at one point. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. 6 miles. So anyway, there was this one time I was traveling, and I was determined to get a run in. And so I'm on the treadmill, and treadmill was harder for me. And so I'm running. And I'm like, who is this person? Like, I'm running, I'm sweating, I'm looking on the thing, and there's 5-6 miles, and this is pretty consistent. This is not now, by the way, this was a while ago. But at that time, it was consistent. And so there was this part of me when I was running and I was logging all these miles when I kept saying to myself, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, who is this person? What is going on? And after a while, I hear this voice inside of me that says, this is who you are now. And I was like, ooh, okay, that's deep. So here's the thing about that is for many of us, we so desperately want to make a change in our lives, right? And we actually go through steps and make efforts and achievements, and we end up doing this new thing, and we keep questioning it in ourselves. Like, who am I? Who am I this person? Have you ever done that before? And so we keep questioning. And I think our lives are trying to call to us and say, this is who you are. So for many of you, while you've been home, while you've been at stay-at-home orders, and you've had to now, maybe function a little bit differently, or for some of you, function more intently, or whatever it is, here's the deal. Going forward, this is those things that you were able to do during this time, during this quarantine, during the stay at home, particularly the good things, just know that is who you are now. So when you step into this new season, you don't have to leave those things behind. They are going to come with you because they are who you are now. And so embrace them. It is what's new. It's not the new normal. It is what's new now, whatever that is in every season. So I say that to encourage you. Lean into the new. Lean in to what is happening in your life. So this song is a celebration of the new. It's called Welcome to the New. That was fun. Was that fun for you? Did you guys dance at all? Did anybody dance? No? Yes, you there, Jennifer. I don't know, I'm totally making that up that there's somebody named Jennifer on the chat. But if you did, like, we're on chat together, right? So, like, put some stuff in the chat, hopefully nice stuff. Put some stuff in the chat and just say hi, or if there's somebody like from the Foundry that you see and you're like, hey, I don't know, Keisha, do y'all have a Keisha here? I don't know. But hey, glad you're here. Just put that in the chat. Let's just make it feel like a community here. As you can see, I'm a little loopy tonight. So, but I'm really glad you're here. So embrace what is new. So how many of you can say you're just really glad to have life today? Like, I know it's been a tough couple of months. For some of us, we have experienced not much change. For others of us, it's been a lot of change. But it's really good that if you're here, if you're listening tonight, that we can celebrate that we are still standing strong tonight, right? Some of us might be on the last leg, but we're still on a leg, right? But we are still standing. God has still sustained us. We have everything that we need for this moment right now. So let's celebrate that life. So this song is an ode to waking up in the morning. That's it. It's really not that deep. Like, it's that. Because sometimes we can get so used to waking up. It sounds amazing even when I say it, right? Like, the alarm goes off and it's kind of like, right? That kind of feeling. But really, if you think about it, think about how much a miracle it is that you're actually alive. Your heart's pumping on its own. Your legs are working the way they need to work today. Your body, your arms, your eyes, everything about you is working the way it needs to today. So, I don't know. We just wanted to write a song that would say, hallelujah, we get to be alive today. So we're going to do that for you. And this song has coffee in it. So there's that. I'll tell you when it's coming, all right? This song is called I Rise. It goes like this.
And I rise,
take the gift we receive just to be Woo! Woo! Hey, thanks, guys. Yay, cool. All right. Yes. I don't know why I keep putting that song at the front of the set, because now I'm tired. Oh, but it is just, it's good. It's good to wake up. It's good to be alive. And it's good to remember how awesome it is, even now. Oh, good. Whew. Yeah, I'm literally out of breath right now. Sorry for those of you watching, you hear me breathe into the microphone. You're welcome, I guess. No, I'm good. Thank you, honey. Thanks. So there are so many beautiful things that have been written about how we are made as human beings. And we have desires, we have wants, we have our emotions, our feelings. And it's kind of weird, you know, this culture that we live in a bit, particularly when we're working for some reason. It's sort of like you're supposed to keep your emotions everywhere but when you're with other people or when you're at work or that kind of thing. Like you can kind of just turn it on and turn it off. And I don't actually think we're that good to do that. And I don't think that that is how we are created to be as human beings. I think every place that we feel deeply, that we emote deeply, is connected to our intellect and truth and everything that we know and everything that we've experienced. And there are ways of being, even that Christian writers have written about, people that have contributed to the Word of God, who say things like that the spirit within us, it groans. Like it, do you know what a groan is like? That kind of groan that it's like you want something so bad or you feel something so deeply that sometimes all you can do is just go, ugh, right? Because it's that feeling, it's that groaning. And then there are times that the creatives and the poets in the Bible talk about things like desire and love and wants. And one of the writers of the Psalms says something like this. He says, "My heart longs for you. My soul thirsts for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water." And so just thinking about the longings of our hearts, the things that we have been able to experience, and also the things that are part of the not yet. And I think we all know what that feels like, the not yet. Like, when is this gonna happen? And when am I gonna see this in my life? When? And I think it's one of those things that if we can just learn to dance with it and live with it, I think we start to find our truest self. We start to get into the depth of our emotions. And for those of us that follow God, we really start to understand what it means to be in spirit as well as in truth. So this song that we're going to do is inspired by Psalm 63. Bible, the writer that says, "My heart, my soul longs for you, thirsts for you." So this is called Longings. Enjoy. I've been waiting, I've been searching only for you alone, looking for signs of you in the darkness, in the light. I can hear your voice calling out my name, wanting me, all of me. I've been praying, even a glimpse of you when your face shines through. You have rescued me, you've set me free. I can feel your hand pulling me and calling out my name, wanting all of me. My soul longs for you. Even in the night, even when I walk away, even in the darkness, even in the night, even when I walk away, even in the darkness, even in the night when I walk away, even in the darkness, even in the night when I walk away, even in the dark. Oh Good job, fellas. Longing. Could you feel it? I hope you can feel it. Because that's what a longing feels like, right? It feels like it's everything, right? It's mind, it's heart, it's body, it's soul, it's everything. So, during this time, there are there's a lot of voices out there, isn't there? There's a lot of a lot of news, a lot of posts, a lot of everything. And here's the tricky thing. In this particular time that we live in our country, some would argue that we've always been in this time. I don't know. I mean, I've only been on the earth for so long, but but there's this thing that kind of goes around where we are forced as people to think very binary. You know what I mean by this? Like, you can either like Southwest Airlines or Delta. You can't like them both. Right? Like, and don't try to post anything on social media about what you like. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be like, hey, I just flew Southwest and I love it, because you know your Aunt Sally, who's ever always got something to say, is gonna be like, I'll never fly Southwest. It's only Delta. You know what I'm saying? Like this very binary space. So you can either like this or like that. You can either think this way politically or that way politically. You can either think this way when a racially fueled incident happens or this way. And I actually think, guys, that, you know, we are way more complex than first we give ourselves credit for, but also the people around us credit for. That more times than not, our emotions, our thoughts, what we think about things are just on a scale all the time. And I want to tell you tonight, encourage you to say, please don't believe that lie, that you have to be either this or that. Most of the time, not with everything, but you know, most of the time, we hold so many things right in the middle of our heart, the middle of our soul. And we deal with grief, and we deal with challenge, and we deal with joy, and we don't do it either or. I love that there is a scripture in the Bible that talks about, you remember that scripture from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, where it says, you know, there's a time to dance and a time to grieve. There's a time to laugh and a time to cry. You know what it doesn't say? It doesn't say or. It doesn't say there's or these times. They happen in the same space. Like, you know, somebody gives birth to their first child and somebody dies all on the same day. Are you happy or are you sad? Yes. Yes. But that's how we're designed. And so I want to encourage you, particularly in this season, lean into the both and don't be forced into either or. Do you want to stay home or do you want to get out? Do you want to go to work or not go to work? Do you think you should fly or not fly? Like, and whatever it is that the Spirit is speaking to you, be congruent with that and know that there's so much more to you than binary extremes. You were not created to be a binary person living life either here or here. We've been created with this beautiful capacity to live in the majority middle. So this song is called Seasons, and it's about all of those seasons that we celebrate at the same time. That movie is an African-American standard. Not really. It goes like this. buried underneath what's frozen. Colors piercing through the earth. Beauty struggles for rebirth. What was dormant springs to life again, triumphant. For everything in time alive, for everything a season, for everything that happens in this life is not without a reason. Oh, but there's a time to dance. Oh, but there's a time to laugh, a time to grieve. Every moment the heart can take delight in longing for heaven. Sun setting in a cloudless sky, dreams that flit like fireflies, dance unstifled in the evening shadows. Leaves rustle restless in the breeze. Long awaited sweet release happens in one unexpected holy moment. For everything in time alive, for everything a season, for everything that happens in this life is not without a reason. Oh, but there's a time to laugh. Oh, but there's a time to laugh, a time to grieve. Every moment the heart can take delight in longing for heaven. For everything a time alive, for everything a season. No matter what happens in this life, it's not without a reason. Oh, but there's a time to dance and laugh and cry and sing, and a time to grieve. Every moment the heart can take delight in longing for heaven. Cool. Seasons. Seasons. Time for everything. Everybody doing okay out there? Everybody good? All the triple J's in the back who are making all this happen. Thank you guys so much, Jeff and Jeff, the sound is killing up here. Thank you so much. We're hearing great. Those of you that are interested, if you would like to check out what I'm doing and support my work and find music and everything I'm up to, you can go to NikkiLerner.com and find me there. Also, if you're watching, and particularly if you're in the Baltimore area, but even if you're not now, and you're like in North Carolina somewhere, but you're looking for a really great leader to follow in a church and a really great community, the Foundry is awesome. So check them out. They're so awesome. And once they get back together, this beautiful church, it's just a great place to be. And Pastor Scott is one of my favorite leaders, just full of integrity and honesty and authenticity. And so glad that he's a friend of mine and ours. So yeah, so check those things out, The Foundry and NikkiLerner.com. So we only have a few more songs for you tonight. Hopefully you're still engaged and haven't fallen asleep. So here's the story. My family unit, first of all, this is a fun story to tell. I've been telling people this. Usually people ask me, because I work in a lot of culture work and helping people just navigate so much of the cultural dynamics that are happening in our country right now. And people will ask me, how did you get started? And I like to tell people that I grew up in a tri-cultural family, although we were all African-American people. Okay, just let that sit for about 10 seconds while you're confused. So, so I had three areas of my family unit. My mom and dad were married. They had me, and my dad died when I was 1, so I didn't know him. His family was from Gloucester, Virginia, which is literally like in the country. Like my family's house is in the country, like in the woods. So there's kind of this country, rural culture. Then my mom's family was very diverse. There were all kinds of people in it, and people from every walk of life, every culture, every color, every ability. I remember we had tons of my mom had tons of deaf friends and people in wheelchairs and differing abilities. So that was around us a lot. And then my dad's family, my stepdad's family, my mom remarried, was from right here in Baltimore City. And Baltimore City has its own unique urban culture to it. And so these three facets of my family sometimes did not always understand each other, and we needed a translator. But I share that to say that I never knew my biological father. I'm told I look just like him, hence the height. He was 6'4". I'm 6 feet on the floor. So that's my dad, and then my stepfather, who I grew up with. And as I was growing up as a young person, there were a lot of interesting things that were going on that just really fed into me trying to figure out where my sense of belonging was in a family. My mother and my grandmother, my aunt, really amazing women, my brother, really amazing members of my family to make me feel like I belonged somewhere. But for the longest time, I just really struggled with where do I belong, losing my dad, and then later losing my mom about 20 years ago. And so sometimes you can kind of have this orphan syndrome a little bit, like you feel like a wanderer a bit. But you talk about longing, there is a longing to belong for someone like me, and maybe like you, that you have a similar story. But thank God that we find people in our lives that when we remember the truth, that we do belong. Not only do we belong with our friends and our family, but we belong to God. If we could just grab hold of that truth, we start to change, and the narrative that we've grabbed on starts to change. So I want to encourage you and challenge you. Are there places in your life where you've been telling yourself you don't belong anywhere? And I want to ask you to ask yourself, is that true? Is that actually true, that you don't belong anywhere? If it's not true, I want to challenge you to stop telling yourself that. And if it is true, I want to challenge you to go reach out, go find where people are, go find where you can connect. But we all need to belong somewhere. So this song that we're going to do is called Tell Me, and it's from one girl to another girl, asking her to let her know what it feels like to belong. So it's called Tell Me. Like to feel his hand upon your shoulder. Tell me how it feels to know he wants to pull you closer. To know you are his precious treasure. Tell me how it feels to be loved beyond all measure, so that your face can find rest when you bury your tears in the strength of his chest, and your mind can know peace, 'cause you know that you're safe with him. Oh, da, 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 da. Ooh, da, 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 da. Ooh. Oh, tell me what it's like to freely give your love to someone. Tell me how it feels to bury your burdens with your Father, so that your face can find rest when you bury your tears in the strength of his chest, and your mind can know peace, 'cause you know that you're safe with him. Oh, so that your faith can find rest when you bury your tears in the strength of his chest, and your mind can know peace, 'cause you know that you're safe with him. Oh, safe in his love, safe in his arms. Yeah. May the narrative that you choose for your life be one that empowers you, that leads you to life and more life, and doesn't lead you to death and destruction, whatever that is for you. You have to name that. But may you choose something that is worthy of who you are as a person. There are many of us in this season of life who, maybe because things change so fast, that you may not have been able to have a chance to grieve things that have been lost. Some of you are grieving the loss of your business right now. Some of you are grieving the loss of your work. Maybe you've been laid off. Some of you are grieving the loss of your peace and quiet at home. I don't have children, but I've heard from other people that sometimes to have them there 24/7 is just, you're not used to it. And you're grieving space. Maybe you've lost someone during this time, and you're grieving the fact that they passed away, and you don't feel like you could have properly celebrated their life because of the conditions of the world right now. Maybe you're grieving because you're still processing racially fueled aggression that's happening in our world. Maybe you're grieving the idea that you're hoping that your friends don't think you're a part of something, maybe that you see on TV or in the media, because you're trying to be an ally. Maybe you're grieving the fact that maybe you've done some things against other people that you don't even know where it came from, but it wasn't good. Things you've said, and now maybe you need to own it. I think we're all probably grieving all the time at some level, something. And I don't know what that looks like for you in order to express it or bring it out. For me, it's usually talking. I'm a physical touch person. So not hugging people is hard for me these days, let me just tell you. But just being able to be in the same room and hold hands with friends and family members and hugs and that sort of thing. But it also comes out in song. And I wrote this song from my mom, who passed away about 20 years ago. Her name was Wanda. She was 5'2". I know, you don't understand how she's my mother, but she was about this tall. She had a smile that could light up a room. She had a gap in front of her teeth, just like me. And she was one of the most beautiful people I've ever known. And so I finally, at some point, bring myself to write a song for her in her honor, about her struggle and then ultimately her going on to the next life. So I'm going to sing this for you tonight, and maybe you can use it and adopt it as your song tonight to grieve whatever you need to grieve, and work through some of that. This song is called Home. So we'll do this song and then one more song, and then that'll be it tonight, guys. Appreciate you being with me, but enjoy this. May you adopt it yourself. And this song's going to start with Stephen on piano, because you should hear him play. So, the song's called Home. Chasing the wind of an undying dream I desire. longing for love and an unyielding freedom. Naming this pain and moving closer to where I call home. Working my way with an endless abandon, where tears will fall no more, where life will be restored again, where voices sing as one. I am home, working my way with an endless abandon call home. I'm working my way with an endless abandon, certain to find even a glimpse of the place I belong. Taking the hand of the love that will lead me, where tears will fall no more, where life will be restored again, where voices sing as one. I am home, where tears will fall no more, where life will be restored again, where voices sing as one. I am Well, maybe even in some small way that'll make you cry a little bit, make you smile a little bit, thinking of people that you love that are either have moved on or are about to move on. Gosh, may you know that you are loved. You are loved, and your presence means so much to people. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We got one more song for you. Just a reminder, if you're looking for a church, the Foundry is a good one. So check them out online. Great leader, great pastor, great leaders, great community, great team. So please check out the Foundry and support them. If you're in a place financially even, they didn't ask me to do this, by the way, but if you're in a place to support the work that they're doing, because they're doing a lot of work in the community, check them out and be generous during this time. And if you want to stay connected with me, you can check out NikkiLerner.com. Go on the mailing list, stay up to date with what we're doing. Oh, yeah, we got a new record coming out next month. Woo! So excited. I almost forgot. How did I forget that? That's terrible. Yeah, we got a new record coming out next month called Human 2. Not Electric Boogaloo, but human, 2. We're really excited about it. Got some amazing people on there. The band's on there. Our friend Mark Lettieri from Snarky Puppy is on there. Excited about that guy. but it's going to be awesome. Maz from Snarky. Yeah, we're Snarky fans. Anyway, we'll check it out, let you know. But thank you guys. Thanks to Triple J team back there. Thank you to Pastor Scott. And thank you guys for watching tonight. Yeah, really grateful for the engagement. So this song is a celebration of life. That's all it is. So may you have hope, encouragement, empowerment as you step into this new season. Y'all, we coming out of the houses. We're coming out of home. We're going back, and we're going to create something new and better and beautiful, more beautiful than we've ever seen. Press in, be kind, love one another, and stay curious and stay open about who everybody else is, as well as who you are, so that you can start to develop a narrative that is empowering to you to take the next step. So thanks for hanging out. This song is called Life is Good, because it is. All right, come on, get up and shake your booty. There is life, there is breath in my lungs. I will rest in the goodness of God. There is love beating deep in my heart. I will rest in the goodness of God. There is hope in the light of the dawn. I will rest in the goodness of God. There is grace in the warmth of the sun. I will rest in the goodness of God. I believe it's a good day to be alive. And though everything may not be as it should, life is good. Boom, 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 ba-da-ba-da-da. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I rejoice in the day God has made. It's a good day to be alive. I believe every promise He gives, every blessing in Him is mine. I believe it's a good day to be alive. And though everything may not be as it should, life is good. Oh, yeah. I believe it's a good day to be alive. And though everything may not be as it should, life is good. Oh, every breath that I breathe. Oh, it's a good day to be alive. Every breath that we breathe. Oh, it's a good day to be alive. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Nikki Lerner, David, and Steven. We'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.